Johnny Cash, a titan of American music, a man whose profound voice and somber attire earned him the name the Man in Black. His tale is a saga of triumph, tragedy, and redemption. From his humble beginnings in Arkansas to his rise as a music legend, Cash's journey is as captivating as his tunes. His music, deeply personal and universally relatable, resonated with millions. His legacy, a life filled with music, passion, and a relentless pursuit of truth. Born J.R. Cash on February 26, 1932, in Kingsland, Arkansas, he came from a humble background. Kingsland, a small town in the heart of America, is where our story begins. A place where the soil is as hard as the people who till it. It was here that Johnny was born into a family of 7 children. His parents, Ray and Carrie Cash, were cotton farmers, struggling to make ends meet during the Great Depression. Life was tough, but in the midst of their struggles, the Cash family found solace in music. Johnny's mother's hymns and folk songs echoed through their modest home, shaping the young boy's musical sensibilities. But life was not all songs and sunshine. Tragedy struck early when Johnny's older brother, Jack, died in a horrific sawmill accident. Jack was not just a brother, but a hero to Johnny. His loss left an indelible mark on the young boy's soul, a scar that would later find its voice in his music. Growing up in such a challenging environment, Johnny had to grow up fast. He worked the fields alongside his family, his hands becoming as rough as the life he was born into. But the hardship he faced didn't harden his heart. Instead, it instilled in him a profound sense of empathy for those who suffered. These early experiences would go on to shape the man and the artist he would become. Cash's distinctive resonant voice quickly caught attention. His music, a blend of country, rock, and gospel, resonated with the heart of America. It was a sound that captured the spirit of the times. His lyrics spoke of love, loss, and the human condition, themes that universally appealed to his audience. Cash's fame escalated with his first big hit, I Walk the Line, and he began touring extensively. But success came at a price. The relentless touring schedule, the pressure of being in the public eye, and the loneliness of life on the road led Cash to seek solace in drugs. In the midst of his rising fame, Cash found love. He married Vivian Liberto, a girl he'd met just before his deployment to Germany during his stint in the Air Force. Their relationship was a whirlwind of romance, marked by long love letters during his deployment. They had 4 daughters, Roseanne, Kathy, Cindy, and Tara. But as Cash's fame grew, so did the strain on his marriage. Cash's addiction to amphetamines and barbiturates began to take a toll on his personal life. His marriage to Vivian was crumbling under the weight of his drug use and infidelity. Cash was spiraling out of control, his life marked by a series of arrests and destructive behavior. Yet, even as his personal life was in chaos, his career was soaring. His music continued to top the charts and his concerts were sellouts. But the dichotomy of Cash's life was stark. On one hand, he was the Man in Black, the superstar whose music touched millions. On the other, he was a man battling his demons, struggling to hold his life together. His personal life was tumultuous, but his music resonated with the masses. The man who sang of pain and heartache was living it, and his authenticity shone through in his music, making him a beloved figure in the world of music. Cash's performances in prisons reflected his deep empathy for the marginalized. The Man in Black did not just sing about life on the edge, he lived it and brought it to those on the edges of society. His famous live albums at Folsom Prison and at San Quentin, recorded in front of an audience of inmates, became some of the most acclaimed works in his discography, embodying his belief in second chances and redemption. But Cash's advocacy did not stop at prison walls. He was a vocal supporter of Native American rights, using his platform to draw attention to their struggles. His concept album, Bitter Tears, Ballads of the American Indian, was a musical outcry against the injustices faced by Native Americans. It was a testament to Cash's commitment to use his voice for those unheard. Throughout his career, Cash penned and performed songs that have since become staples of American music. His song, I Walk the Line, is a pledge of fidelity and moral rectitude, a testament to his own struggle for balance. Folsom Prison Blues, with its mix of empathy and realism, captures the despair of incarceration. And who could forget Ring of Fire, co-written by June Carter, a song that encapsulates the burning intensity of falling in love? Each song, each performance, and each album was a highlight in a career that spanned almost 5 decades. His music transcended genres, blending country, rock, gospel, and blues into a style that was uniquely Cash. He was not just a singer or a songwriter, he was a storyteller, a poet, a rebel, and a champion for the underdog. His music transcended genres and touched the hearts of millions. Whether he was singing in a prison, on a stage, or in a recording studio, Johnny Cash sang with a raw honesty that resonated with people from all walks of life. His songs, rooted in his own experiences and observations, spoke to universal themes of love, loss, struggle, and redemption. And that is the true highlight of Johnny Cash's career. June Carter, herself a music royalty, became the love of his life and a catalyst for change. Born into the famed Carter family, June was a force to be reckoned with, a gifted singer, songwriter, and comedian. She first crossed paths with Johnny Cash in the late 50s during a Grand Ole Opry show. Their friendship blossomed into love, a love that would become one of the greatest love stories in the history of country music. In 1968, June and Johnny tied the knot, beginning a marital journey that would stretch over 3 decades. Their bond was more than just romantic, it was transformative. June became Johnny's rock, his guiding light during the darkest of times. She saw the man behind the man in black, recognized his pain, and stood by him even when he was on the brink of self-destruction. June played an instrumental role in helping Johnny overcome his addiction to pills, a battle that he had been fighting for years. She gave him the strength to confront his demons, to seek help, and to find redemption. Through her unwavering support and love, Johnny found a sense of peace and stability he had been yearning for, both personally and professionally. June Carter was his beacon of hope, leading him out of his darkest times. Her influence on Johnny's life was profound and everlasting, shaping not only the man he became, but also the music that continues to touch our hearts to this day. In his later years, Cash continued to innovate. He wasn't one to sit quietly in the twilight of his career. Instead, he seized the opportunity to reinvent himself yet again, this time through a series of albums known as the American Recordings. This collaboration with producer Rick Rubin stripped Cash's music down to its bare essentials, reminding everyone that at the heart of this man in black was a voice that could still captivate, inspire, and move audiences. These albums brought him back into the spotlight, earning him new fans and reminding the old ones why they loved him in the first place. But as his career experienced a renaissance, his health began to decline. He battled with a series of illnesses, and in May of 2003, he faced the most devastating blow of all, the death of his beloved wife, June Carter Cash. Despite the pain and the loss, Cash continued to create music until his own passing just a few months later in September. His final album, released posthumously, was fittingly titled Ain't No Grave. His music remained a testament to his life, filled with pain, love, redemption, and the enduring human spirit. It was a reflection of a man who had walked through fire, yet came out the other side with his integrity and his passion for music intact. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the legacy of Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash's legacy transcends music. He's more than just a memorable voice or a face on a record cover. He's a symbol of raw authenticity, of speaking one's truth no matter how uncomfortable it might be. His songs, deeply entrenched in the realities of life, love, failure, and redemption, continue to inspire and resonate with millions around the world. His influence stretches far beyond the boundaries of country or rock music. From punk bands to hip-hop artists, countless musicians have cited Cash as an inspiration, drawn to his honesty and his fearless blending of musical styles. His advocacy work, particularly his support for prison reform and Native American rights, marked him as a man deeply concerned with social justice. His legacy is enduring, his influence ever-present. Even today, his music is discovered by new generations, his story touching lives just as his songs once did. Johnny Cash was more than a musician. He was a voice for those who often didn't have one, a symbol of resilience, and a legend in the truest sense.